Hello and welcome to my channel. I recorded this video 2 to 3 weeks ago, maybe only 2 weeks, I'm not sure, I don't remember, but it was a while ago. I haven't done any voiceovers because I was frustrated that I couldn't get it from my phone to my iPad, and I've been trying to figure out how to do that. So what I had to do was I had to fast forward it, speed up the time on my phone, transfer it to my iPad, and then slow it down to make the time appropriate for YouTube. So what this video is about is that I went to Walmart and I found some of the Astroglide cardstock paper that I showed you at the beginning of the video. And the drawing on the left-hand side of the screen is the one that I did of Gypsy before, and that was just on the regular cardstock paper from Walmart, the pen and ink, pen and gear cardstock. It's the stuff in the yellow package. And I wanted to see the difference between the two of these cardstocks, and like right now I'm showing you the bleed through, but because there wasn't very much ink on the the right hand side drawing, you couldn't really compare them because one is finished and the other one's not. But I can tell you the one thing that I noticed about this paper, the Astroglide paper, is that when I was drawing on it with my Prismacolor markers, it felt a lot drier, but at the same time I liked the effect that I was getting from it from the drier brush marks. And so in person there was a visual difference. I could see a difference between the two papers. One, the ink was darker. The first image that I finished, that was darker. And then this one was lighter, and they both turned out different. But I did color them differently, so it's really hard to say which one is going to be better for markers, but I also think it depends on what effect you're going for. Because the effect that I was going for was I needed the feather look for the hair. And I think they both turned out nice. So, oh, I guess I went to go get my white gel pen because there's a spot that I missed. Sorry about that. I'll be back in just a second. Oh, look, I'm back. I couldn't find my white gel pens. Oh, see? There you go. I forgot that I already edited this part. I have found my gel pens, and I will be able to use them in my next video, or a future video. I'm finding the voiceovers to be quite fun. There are a lot of effects that I can do. So I was playing with them, and I found a fairy one and a laughing one, and they have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the videos, except I thought that the fairy one could possibly sound like it was magic, that my pens appeared right in that instant, and then just after that I said I found my gel pens. But yeah, I'm having fun with this. Maybe I should explain what I'm doing on the drawing itself. I don't know what that just said, but I don't want to record this whole thing over again. So if I'm going in opposite directions, so right here I'm going down, And then in a little bit, I will move the brush up like that. And that gives the impression that that's a highlight. Oops, I missed a spot. But I guess if you can read, you got that part. I don't know how long it was there before I noticed it, but it must have been a while. So the reason I decided to get the purple pen was because there's a spot in her hair that I didn't leave a highlight for. You'll see in just a minute. Right there. But I did not like the way the gel pen looked, so I gave up on it and switched to a Sharpie. Now what this does is this gives it gives an indication of individual hair strands. And I really like the look of the individual hair strands, and then they disappear into the highlight. Some people might not like that, but I like it. I like the details. So I do that all over her head. And then this is just where I'm adding. I'm not editing that out, so enjoy. This is where I'm adding the, let's see, I think that's some mist, violet mist. So when I originally started talking, it was a darker purple, but now this is a lighter purple. I will link a description of the markers that I used in this, but for now I'm going to refer to the one that I'm currently using as the light purple, and the dark one that I'm switching to as the dark purple. So I will let you know what those are in the link. So back to the story of walking through Walmart and how I got inspired to do this. I was looking at papers. I wanted to get me some marker paper just because I was curious. And then I walked down the art section at Walmart and I saw drawing paper, sketch paper, and marker paper. And I'm like, what the heck is the difference between the three? I never knew the difference. I just knew that you drew on paper and that was that. Sketchbooks were sketchbooks to me, and I did a lot of my finished work on my sketchbooks, or in my sketchbooks. And so I picked up the astroglide paper and the marker paper because I wanted to do an experiment and find out what the difference was, but I ended up not getting the marker paper or the drawing paper or the sketch paper because I had drawing paper at home and sketch paper at home. But instead of the marker paper, I got the astroglide, which I hope I'm saying the right name. Well, with that little slip up, that was fun. The only reason I knew that I said the wrong word was because my husband was in the kitchen snickering at me. And that's why I second guessed myself. But I think I fixed it. Well, I didn't technically fix it because I didn't want to record it over again, especially when I have these long voiceovers and then I make a mess up like that and I have to go fix it. Anyway, let's get back to the drawing. You'll notice that I'm testing my marker right there, and that's because I was checking to figure out if the paper was drying out my marker. Right here I'm going to show you what I decided not to do. On the left side of the drawing, I made it to where there was contrasting on the top part of the hair and the bottom part of the hair. And on this new one, I am only going to put dark contrast on the bottom part. If you're wondering why I'm only putting the dark contrast on the bottom part, it is because I want the bottom to contrast the top. And just to clarify what I mean by that is I want the top lighter than the bottom. I personally like to see a lot of contrast in my drawings, and therefore I provide my viewers with a lot of contrast. Now, if contrast is not your forte, then that's okay. Do it different than I'm doing it. Choose a lighter color. Choose something different. So I'm just going back over the areas that I already filled in with the lightest purple, and because this is the top part and I don't want it as dark as the bottom, I am just going over this top part with the light purple, which is the mist, the violet mist, I believe is what it's called.
Hello, art tubers. If you have gecko cars, draw them. And if you have cowboy cars, draw them. And if you have owlet cars, draw them. And if you have cowboy gecko and owlet, draw them too. See ya.
Now back to the regularly scheduled program. So while Mikey was talking, I pulled out a few pens and tested them to see which one I liked the best to draw on individual strands of hair. I didn't really like the dark purples, so I went ahead and got this Stedler .03. It came in a pack of unicorn blends or whatever. I don't know entirely what it was. I picked it up at Walmart and I can't find it at Walmart anymore. But I really like the effect that this added to the drawing. As you have seen, if you have seen any of my previous videos, I like the details. I like to focus on the details. And individual hairs is one of the things I like to focus on. And not everybody likes to focus on individual hairs. I just think that it adds a lot to my drawing. And so I'll take the time to do it because I think that it looks good. At this point in the drawing, I think that there's enough done that I can turn my time over to the music. I decided to do the pen effect on the left side as well, so that I could make a better comparison in the end. And that concludes today's session of Can You See the Difference? So, can you see the difference? I can see a difference between the two papers.